political stage. Really wish he wasn't a Democrat, but maybe that could be a good thing. U-Haul, what are your thoughts on this?
That is a good thing. It's a blessing in disguise. And by the way, it was a pleasure meeting you this past weekend in Franklin, south of Nashville, excuse me.
Yeah,
I guess if anyone who wasn't able to make it, I actually did upload videos of your speech too. I hope you don't mind, unless you don't want me to plug my YouTube channel.
No,
it's okay if you don't.
It features me. Of course, I want you to plug. No, it was very nice to meet you as well. I was wondering if you were the U-Haul that I met. I guess there could be more than one U-Haul out there. Yeah, please plug your site.
No, it's U-Haul like the moving company, but it's the word live afterwards. So it's like U-Haul Live because I was live streaming. So it's like U-H-A-U-L and then a second L, L-A-V-E. It's on ScrewTube. I also live streamed the day before with Patrick Byrne. It's controversial, so I have it as private. So I really don't know how to upload it or to release it on YouTube unless I piecemeal it on Minds, which is my second because Rumble doesn't work for me, without getting a strike. I have a copyright claim already with the music, but the video, your speech is still up along with Baker's and along with the J6, the Vigil people too.
On YouTube, you said?
Speakers before you. Yes.
Oh, excellent. Okay, well, yeah, thank you very much for that, and I hope people can go and share that. As much as we want you sharing Bandai video links and stuff like that, and our speeches will be put up on Bandai video. The fact that some people just find it really easy to click on a YouTube link and won't click on other video links, it's just a phenomenon. So it's great to have a YouTube option for people to send out. So thank you for that. U-Haul Live, fantastic stuff. What's your comments on RFK?
Yeah, even if it's kind of irrelevant to what you've been talking about so far. One of the things about the whole thing about his appearance on, I guess, was it Twitter Space or something like that? I don't understand the concept of people hiding behind a computer to announce themselves. But anywho, I think it's the next best thing closest to impeachment. Here's why. Because at the convention in Chirac next year, should he actually win the nomination, not be cheated out of it, like Sanders was not just the past time, but the previous time at 16, is that should he win the nomination, it means that the incumbent is out. He'll be able to accomplish what his uncle couldn't. Uncle Teddy against the last one-termer Democrat. And so that was back in 1980, of course. And one of the things about it is that a lot like Rush Limbaugh's way of Operation Chaos in 16, of where if you're in an open primary, you just vote because it's a foregone conclusion, especially after the next two guys who announced their presidential bids there, Joe, is that you basically vote in the Democrat primary, but you vote for RFK in order for him to be the front runner. That way, because you know for a fact that he's very open about being against Operation Warp Speed. He's also, I think he's also against interventionism, internationalism, all the real bad things that have just poisoned the world. So it's just something to think about. I guess you just re-register as a Democrat vote in that primary. I mean, it's just, or 2008 when everyone voted for Hillary to just prolong the primary when it was a foregone conclusion that Obama was going to take it, which he did, but he limped over the finish line. So in this case, we pretty much want to give the voice because there's a big chip on the shoulder. There's no closure from 1960 and whenever his dad was assassinated, not too long thereafter. And so there's a lot of closure. There's a lot of unfinished business with the Kennedy family. So it's just, and I don't think RFK has really held public office before, so this would actually be his first position, or it would be his run for a first position rather. So, it'd
be totally amazing. I mean, it was just. I believe the anniversary of his father's assassination was just a few days ago or something, and scrolling through Twitter, you see his face come up and it says, it was however many years ago today and you got to imagine he thinks about that probably every day of his life. I mean, how old was he when it happened? I mean, he was old enough that he probably still remembers it. He was old enough to know what was going on, but just an absolute tragedy. That's not something you ever get over or forgive, and we can only hope that he's slowly but surely plotted his revenge on these people, because they are the number one threat. And if we can cut off the head of the snake and the intelligence agencies, so much of these other problems go by the wayside. So many of the wars and the madness, the media manipulation, it's all coordinated by the intelligence agencies. If we can destroy them and free ourselves from their tyrannical, unelected, and unaccountable rule, so much of the rest of this stuff gets solved. I wish he wasn't. I don't know. I guess I'm sort of torn because on one side, I would like to see a Democratic Party that wasn't completely insane. I guess that would be nice to have some sort of, if we're going to have a two-party system, but both parties should at least have some semblance of sanity and care for this country and not just have one side be a ineffectual speed bump to the other side who is constantly pushing for the open destruction of our nation. Like our two-party system is so broken right now. I would actually like to see a Democratic Party that still upheld things like patriotism and God and things that the Democratic Party used to actually still cling to. They've abandoned recently. I think that'd be amazing. Same time, it's like if I want to vote for RFK, I got to vote for a Democrat. I got to contribute in some way to this party that is so satanically devoted to our destruction. It's very painful, and I don't like that necessarily. So it could be a great thing. I was seeing people yesterday speculate on what if, of course, there's like the Trump RFK ticket. I think that would be incredibly effective and amazing. I think if they wanted to run independent of the two other parties, that could be a bombshell thing. A Democrat and a Republican, both anti-establishment coming together to take on the two-party system, that would be earth-shattering and narrative changing. But I don't know. I also saw people saying if Trump can get elected, then RFK maybe could be put at the head of the FBI or at the head of the CIA. Maybe he could be Trump's appointment to one of those positions and he could dismantle it from the inside. Lots of good options. I really like RFK Jr. I don't have to agree with him on everything to know that he's just miles ahead of just about any other Democrat in existence right now, and really miles ahead than most of the Republicans as well. So I really, Godspeed to RFK and God's protection over him, as we know his family has a history of conflict with the murderous, tyrannical scumbags that run our country as we speak. More of your phone calls on the other side as we hit the bottom of this last hour of American Journal. Thanks so much for the call, U-Haul. Really appreciate it. Really loved meeting you in person there in Nashville. And U-Haul Live on YouTube apparently has our speech, which I look forward to seeing what angle you got on that. I do want to ask people to please do go to InfoWarsStore.com, not just for us, not just to keep us on air, but for your own sake. Go to InfoWarsStore.com. Survival Shield X3 is still on sale at 25% off. That sale is not going to last very long. It may be ending later today. It may be ending tomorrow, but just don't wait because it'll be over before you know it. It's your last chance to save. 25% off Survival Shield X3. By the way, the X3, I didn't realize, X2 is like a drop or two of for a dose. Survival Shield X3 is the full dropper, but there's still something like 45 servings in that 1 ounce bottle. So just 1 ounce will last you a very long time, for a month and a half at least, and you can double up. Stock up now, 25% off, InfoWarsStore.com. Incredibly powerful nascent iodine, tri-iodine, all empowering each other. We'll be right back with more of your calls.